At what point can you say that something is not a threat? Could you not make the case that Taiwan needs to spend greater than 100% of its GDP on defense? Like and this sort of goes back to the question about communication, but how can you really say enough is enough?
How Much is Enough is the name of a book. Written by the guys at the economists that came in and established the in 1961. They wrote a book. It was called How Much is Enough? So it's a fundamental question, you know, and there aren't easy answers to it. The answer I gave earlier was measuring as a fraction of GDP is a very important measure, but it is not a measure of demand. It's a measure of burden. And what I can answer that question, I can't do the analysis for Taiwan, but I can answer that question based on historic benchmark. So during World War II, defense spending did not exceed deficit spending and deficits as a percent of GDP, and they went up significantly during World War II. I don't have the exact numbers on me. So outside of so you got one phase, which is in the middle of a hot war, right? So in the middle of a hot war, most of the economy is going to be transitioned to military spending or things that support military spending or support resilience and defense. Then you look at periods that are short of hot war. So the U.S. gives a range there, right? We spend about 8% of GDP at the height of the Cold War. We spend about 3 to 4% of GDP. We've dramatically increased our defense spending in the last couple of years because of the increasing challenges from China and Russia. Those are measures of how much can you afford. The other question, which you're getting at, is, but what's the demand? How much do you need? And that, you know, I would argue that should, first and foremost, this won't be the only thing that goes into it, right? But first and foremost, that should be driven by what is your plan and what does it cost to execute that plan? What are the military capabilities, the training, the people, the equipment that it would cost to execute that plan? If you've got that, now I wouldn't say that's a straight line into the government budget, right? The government's going to have to weigh things and say, maybe I'll take some risk here. Maybe I want to take less risk because of its importance. Maybe I'll add to that. Maybe I'll subtract to that. That's a budget allocation decision at the whole of government level. But that's the starting point. That's the starting point, data point that you would need to have that debate.